Happy Jackie Robinson Day here in Seattle under blue skies. A little bit chilly, but comfortable nonetheless for Mariner baseball. The American League defending champion Detroit Tigers are in town tonight. And oh, what a lineup they have. And we are ready for action. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew. Leading off is Austin Jackson against Aaron Harang. His first pitch is the Mariners in there for strike one. Harang picked up late in spring training after the Dodgers cutting. As you look at Austin Jackson, outstanding young center fielder for the Tigers. Harang quickly ahead 0-2. Jackson in his fourth season with the Tigers, coming over from the Yankees in the Curtis Granderson trade. 57 degrees, calm here in Seattle. Outside for ball one.
Jackson off to a great start. Comes into the game hitting .386. A number of the Tigers have been hot. Jackson last year, a slow start for him, so a nice turnaround this year.
Here's 1-2. Outside. It's going to be interesting watching. Aaron Harang hasn't pitched in an American League game since he was with the A's back in 03. And he's hoping to have Kelly Shopik be his guide through this order. Kelly, a veteran, has been in both leagues, but primarily in the American League during the course of his time in the big leagues. I felt that.
Well, he just hasn't pitched in a game in a while. Take a look at Harang in the season that he had last year. 10-10 record, 3.61 ERA. Logged a lot of innings. 179 2/3 innings for him, 131 strikeouts to 85 walks. It's a good ERA for him at 3.61. But his last outing was in spring training.
Yep.
The end of spring training. Working out at San Diego State, and he was still throwing there. He's thrown a bullpen since he arrived here in Seattle, but it's been a while since he's taken the mound.
Some fouled off. Harang with the Dodgers during Cactus League action went 1-2 with an 8.20 ERA. This is a guy that knows what he's doing. His 300th appearance, 105 wins, 104 losses.
Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Fastball will be around 90 miles an hour.
Well, he's ahead 0-2 now. It's a full count. Torrey Hunter awaits. So the gap slicing, and it's going to get down. Morse will have to track it. Austin Jackson can motor, make it a hard turn, and he's going to get to third base easily. A stand-up triple to lead off the ball game. Austin Jackson with his first triple of the season.
Perfectly placed slicing line drive in the right center field gap. And once it was able to get past the outfielders, but as Dave mentioned, with Jackson's speed, it was an easy triple for him. Take a look at the rest of the lineup for the Tigers. Torrey Hunter will hit second. Then it's Miguel Cabrera. Prince Fielder, the cleanup hitter, 429. American League Player of the Week with a 632 average. Drove in 11 runs. That's quite a week. Victor Martinez back as the DH hitting fifth. Peralta, Avila, Infante, and Kelly to round out the 9 for the Tigers.
Dangerous club, these Tigers. Their .307 batting average leads the major leagues. There's Torrey Hunter. Torrey in his first year with Detroit, four-time All-Star. 5 years with the Angels. Seems like every time I see him on highlights this last couple of weeks, he's shooting balls through the right side. Be careful with that outside fastball. There he goes down the line, but fouled.
Slider just off the plate away, but he was able to cover it.
Jimmy Leyland in his 8th year with the Detroit Tigers. Took him to the World Series where they were swept by the Giants. One of the great managers, his 1,683 wins, most among active managers.
Play Torrey straight up. Nice mustache there.
That's what it's Jim Leyland impersonation.
Have their infield back, but they're playing him straight up. On a ring right now, trying to get a strikeout ahead. 0-2.
And he gets the K that he needed. Hunter goes down swinging, one out.
No let up in the lineup, though. Now you get Miguel Cabrera to follow Hunters. You take it with a well-located fastball on the outside corner, maybe just off the plate away, but he gets Torrey to chase it. Hey, look at the team mobile defense for the Mariners. Ibanez in left. Franklin Gutierrez back in the lineup. He is in center, along with Michael Morris in right. On the infield, Seager, third baseman. Ryan and Ackley playing up the middle. Justin Smoke at first base, and Kelly Shopping will get the catching duties tonight.
Well, one of the best players on the planet right now, Miguel Cabrera, goes opposite field and foul. 2012 MVP and Triple Crown winner. His numbers last year were just incredible. 330, 44 homers, and 139 RBIs. He's got substantial numbers against the Mariners in his career as well.
He's as good as a right-handed hitter as there is in the game. It's for a high average, dangerous, a lot of power.
He's got him on two.
Good fastball at 93 miles an hour.
Austin Jackson at third, a leadoff triple for Jimmy Leyland's bunch. Base hit, 1-0 Detroit. RBI number 14 for Cabrera. He doesn't miss much.
No, it looked like Aaron tried to elevate a fastball. Ended up at the top of the strike zone, middle of the plate, as he hits it hard through the hole on the right side. Excuse me, the left side of the infield.
No rest in this lineup. Cleanup man is Prince Fielder, player of the week in the American League. Up to an outstanding start. How about these numbers? 429, 4 homers, and 19 runs batted in. Player of the week ending April 14th. He had 632, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, 9 walks in 6 games. Mariners have done well against Detroit. Last year, 5-1 against the Tigers, 2-1 here, swept them 3 games in Detroit. Total over the last 3 years, the Mariners are 16-8 against Detroit, 7-4 here. Two and 1 to Fielder, who I'm told is down 30 pounds.
Big, strong man, power to all fields.
Gonna get out of play, foul. Jackie Robinson Day, everybody wearing 42, including the umpires. 66 years ago yesterday, Robinson broke a color line in Major League Baseball. If you haven't seen the movie 42, highly recommend it. Saw it last night. Great performances. Said a lot in 2 hours and change. Could have made a Ben-Hur length movie. I really covered the topic. Foul back.
20 pitches now for Aaron Harang. Good news, he's throwing strikes. 15 strikes out of the 20 pitches. 300th career start.
After Fielder, you've got Victor Martinez. 2-2 to Prince. Strike 3 call. No dispute. 2 outs.
That was just a perfect pitch. A fastball right on the inside corner. He'd been pitching him away and looked like Fielder was leaning out over the plate. Take a look at this fastball. You can see it run right back on the inside corner. Kelly Shopping holding it there. Help John Hirschbeck out the home plate umpires. You take a look at our McDonald's Supermo. 2-seam fastball right on the inside corner. Good pitch.
John Hirschbeck working with Bob Davidson at first, Jim Reynolds at second, and James Hoy at third. Here's Victor Martinez back after microfracture surgery in his left knee, kept him out for the entire campaign. Victor off to a slow start, hitting 146, no homers, and 4 runs batted in. Switch hitter, and he has been a good one during the course of his career.
Well, after missing last year, it might take him a little bit of time to get it going again. You can see his career numbers against the Mariners are good. Over 300, 10 home runs.
Fouled off. Victor Martinez, a career 303 hitter. 143 runs batted in coming into this season. Second year with Detroit. Didn't play last year. In 2011, he hit 330 with 12 homers and 103 runs batted in. Bulk of his career at Cleveland. Season and change with Boston. Outside off the plate, 2-1.
Broke in as a catcher. He's played some first base, but I would imagine after coming off of the surgery, he'll be the DH most of the year this year.
Go, Victor!
Wouldn't be surprised if the catching mitts are in the attic.
I think you're right about that.
2-1. Make it 3-1. You get Johnny Cabrera on deck. Shortstop swinging the bat well. Johnny hitting at 319 with a homer and 6 runs batted in.
25 pitches now for Aaron. I think we're probably going to see a lot of that over the next 3 days, having to work your way through this lineup.
Old foul. Trying to keep the damage to a minimum. Cabrera's at first. Jackson's tripled and has scored. 3-2 here to Martinez. Hit the left field. Ibanez on the case. Makes a play, and that'll do it. So the Tigers get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. Mariners coming to bat, and they're going to face their old buddy Doug Fister here on Jackie Robinson Night. Right of Merced, California. Former Mariner Doug Fister on the mound tonight. Here's a look at the batting order from his former teammates.
Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. A couple of welcome additions to the lineup. Franklin Gutierrez had missed 3 games. He's back in the lineup, leading off to Seager Morales. Michael Morris also missing 3 games, back in the lineup. Good to have his bat in there with the power that he's provided. Ibanez, Smoke, Shopik, Ackley, and Ryan, the 9 for the Mariners. Take a look at Doug Fister and what he's done this season. 2-0 record, a 2.77 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. Yes, good sinker. We know that. Also will use a breaking ball, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Ball 1 to Franklin Gutierrez, the center fielder. Sore legs kept him out of lineup the last few days. Hitting at 270 with 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. Fister 10-10 with the Tigers last year, 3.45 ERA with the Mariners in 09, 10, and traded in 11. Breaking ball misses. He was traded to the Tigers along with David Paul in exchange for Charlie Furbush, Francisco Martinez, Casper Wells, and a player to be named later, which turned out to be Chance Ruffin. That's July 30th, 2011. 2-1. Looking back. Peralta got a charge, and he throws out Goody.
Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Tigers tonight. Kelly is in left field. Austin Jackson, he can go get it. He's in center. Torrey Hunter in right on the infield. Miguel Cabrera at third. Johnny Peralta with a routine play there on Franklin Gutierrez at shortstop. Infante and fielder on the right side. And Alex Avila will do the catching for the Tigers. He was ducked in his last start against the Blue Jays. Pitched well. 8 innings, 8 hits, 1 run. Had 1 walk, 5 strikeouts through 107 pitches. And when he's right, you're going to see a lot of what Franklin Gutierrez did, and that's hitting ground balls. Tremendous sinker for Doug.
Here's Kyle Seager, 204, no homers, 4 runs batted in. Enjoy your day off yesterday?
I did. Nice day. Rain stayed away, so I got to see a little bit of baseball. My youngest son was playing down in Puyallup, so that was fun.
Good deal.
How about you? I know you went to the movie. What else did you do?
Hit some golf balls.
There you go.
3 wedges. Worked them, and worked them.
Good.
Nice dinner out. Went to the movie. Good crowd. Saw Mr. Bill Russell and Mr. Downtown Freddie Brown at the Uptown Theaters. A ground ball to the second baseman, Omar Infante. I'd love for Mr. Russell to say a few words, being that he knew Jackie Robinson was a pallbearer, too.
I never realized that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a picture. When he Google Jackie Robinson funeral, the pallbearers were, I'm trying to remember the other guys, but there were significant personages at that time in 1972, I think it was. 2 outs, and Kendrys Morales is the hitter. 261, a homer, 6 runs batted in. A couple of days ago, Morales went 1 for 4 in a Mariners 4-3 win over Texas. Mariners split that series with the Texas Rangers, and we'll see him again this coming weekend. Jackie Robinson, October 24th. 1972 is when he passed away at the age of 53. Way too young. Talking to Jim Price, who does color on radio for the Tigers. Played on the '68 Tiger team that won the World Series. And he remembered meeting Mr. Robinson in a group setting. Said he walked in. Said, good-looking guy, head of white hair, very distinguished. He said the room just came to a stop. So everybody's like, wow. Had a good conversation.
I would imagine that would be the case.
Yeah. Two and 2 to Morales. Doug Fister, 2 quick outs.
Both of them on the ground.
Condolences to the friends and family and colleagues of Pat Summerall, the great broadcaster, passed away in 82. As Morales takes a call, 3rd strike. 1-0 Detroit as we head to the 2nd inning here at Tidco Field. As you know, on April 15th, 1947, Jackie Robinson made his historic MLB debut. Robinson's courage, trials, and triumphs blazed the trail for America. Join the Mariners and the rest of Major League Baseball in commemorating Jackie Robinson Day. Go to im42.com or mlbcommunity.org to learn more. Leading off is Johnny Peralta, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Alex Avila, the catcher. Omar Infante, the second baseman. 1-0 on a Miguel Cabrera RBI single. After that, Boston Jackson led off the ball game with a triple against Aaron Harang.
Well, Aaron's going to need a quick inning somewhere along the way. 27 pitches for Aaron in the first inning.
Peralta off to a good start at 319. Used to play shortstop for Eric Wedge when Wedge was the manager at Cleveland. Hearts and prayers go out to folks in Boston affected by the bombing at the finish line of the Boston Marathon yesterday. Middle of the seventh inning, and paying tribute to the folks in Boston. And we will bring you the playing of Sweet Caroline, which is a Boston Red Sox Fenway Park tradition late in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flags are at half mast here at the ballpark and all around, I'd say most of the country. And that shoots one through the hole on the right side. Base hit, Johnny Peralta. Third Detroit hit. Detroit comes in #1 team in batting in Major League Baseball, second in runs in the American League, first in hits. Mike, as you mentioned, just 12th in home runs. Mariners are third, 16 home runs behind the Yankees and the Athletics.
Well, they have some guys with some power in their lineup. A number of them that just haven't been able to get to it yet, but it's going to happen. Cabrera with just one home run. Hunter has 1 home run. Number of guys that you expect more power from.
So Detroit, Kansas City atop the Central Division. It's Villa, the catcher. Slow start for him at $1.95.
It's good hitting by Peralta going the other way. Inside out swing. Finds a hole on the right side of the infield to pick up a base hit.
Villa, a .243 hitter last year with 9 homers and 48 runs batted in. Fell off a lot from 11. Catching the outside. And .295, 19 homers and 82 runs batted in during the 2011 season. Harang has been around 2 years with Oakland. He was with Cincy from 03 to 10, San Diego in 11, and last year with the Dodgers. 1-1. Breaking ball for strike.
Good curveball, 76 miles an hour. There's a better fastball tonight than I expected to see. Topping out at 93s, consistently 91 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss. Bill is gone. Third strikeout for Harang. Second swing. 1 down here in the second. We want you to join the conversation for up-to-date game information and live interaction. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Check us out and stay connected with Root Sports. Aaron Harang pitching in his 300th career game. Has 2 quick outs here in the second inning, and he faces Omar Infante. Omar in his second tour of duty with Detroit. Take that 1 out, big part, 1 out. Infante been an all-star with the Braves in 2011, I think in 2010. Good-looking player. Weak pop that Smoke will take care of. Good to see all the players wearing 42. That idea from Seattle's own King Griffey Jr. Remember when they first started Jackie Robinson Day, one player was designated as, he'd be the guy to wear 42. Junior got to Bud Selig and said, let everybody wear 42. That's a good idea. Boom, here it is. Worked out well.
Is Rivera the only one now with 42?
Mariano Rivera is the last person wearing 42 in the big leagues. And he is, as you know, retiring at the end of the season. Don Kelly takes ball one. Kelly, a utility player, hit a $186 last year. Won 7 runs back then.
Only 10 at bats for him on the year. He's 1 for 10.
Upstairs 2-1. Team batting average 307. Wide margin over the Yankees. It's still early, but that is impressive. Kansas City, not a surprise there. Angels have picked it up, and Baltimore in that top group. 2-2.
It's interesting to see that because they have so many right-handed hitters. They're quality right-handed hitters, but typically when you see those high average, you would think of the number of lefties in there.
Kelly can't catch up with that heat. And Harang strikes out 2 in this inning, gives him 4 through the first 2 innings as we have a glorious sunset here in Seattle. Mariners trail 1-0. Aaron Harang building some confidence with his 4th strikeout as he keys Don Kelly to end the 2nd inning. Top of the 2nd inning, here's Michael Morse. Broke that little pinky finger, but you know what? The fact that he has the interlocking golf grip protects that finger. And it enables him to swing the bat. Because if that was not, see how the interlocking is up? Not for that, he probably wouldn't be able to do it. Shouts one down to Cabrera. He throws it out.
I give him a lot of credit for being in there. One of the things that the night that it happened after the game, he was talking about wanting to get back as quickly as possible. And understanding that a big reason why obviously is because of his overall power when he leaves his club, but also he realizes Michael Saunders isn't available. So one of the outfielders is already out. So there's Michael. He's on the DL. It's going to be a while for him, but I appreciate the fact that Michael Morris did everything he could to get back in the lineup.
He wanted to be back in 2 days.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. Here's Raul. But he's got it. It's all taped up. His hand. And there it is under. Well, we'll get another shot at it. But It's an interesting tape job that they have on there.
Well, and I can tell you this, it's not just a matter of being back. You take a look at the tape that he has on his hand, but when your hands hurt, look at that. When your hands hurt, it's tough to hit. So
you can see why the interlocking golf grip saves it. Did a lot of work yesterday. Came in treatment to flips, threw a little bit. 1-2 here. Pfister working quickly. We're familiar with that.
You see the blue padding on his pinky where he was hit, so he's doing everything that he possibly can to protect his hand and still get in the lineup.
Jack Nicklaus will be proud of that grip. Mr. Almost a quick worker is Mark Burley at Sanson. 2-2. Good pitch. Strikes out Raul. 2 down. And it's Pfister's second strikeout. Hey fans, tweet us your favorite plays each game at #RootFanFave. We're going to tabulate the results and present the top 5 fan favorite plays of the week every Sunday on Mariners pregame on Root Sports. Bring up Justin Smoke. We get over the Mendoza line. He's at 191. Strike 1 to Justin. Smoke 1 for 3 in Sunday's ball game against Texas. Double down the left field line.
Weekend, he saw his share of breaking balls, didn't he? Stayed away with the fastball. Everybody was throwing him the breaking ball.
Could be in his nightmare. On him there. 1-2.
Really good changeup. Good movement on that changeup.
One and two, 2 out, nobody on. Work inside, got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts, 3 in 2 innings for former Mariner Doug Pfister, who leads. He and the Tigers, they lead 1-0. By Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. by Auburn Volkswagen. Das Auto by American Family Insurance. Your dream is out there. Go get it. Find out more at amfam.com/dreams. And by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. Fast-moving right-handers. Aaron Harang, Doug Fister. While we have a moment, hello, Dan Wilson. Good to see you.
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great. These guys are motoring.
Yeah, this game's going fast. These guys like to work quickly, and I'll tell you what, Blow, as you know, it's great playing behind guys that keep that game moving along.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It has to be fun to catch these guys, and you don't see them shaking many pitches off. They just want to go, and that has to be a lot of fun to sit back there and just move the target around for them.
Absolutely. It looks like these guys really developing their fastballs and establishing them nice and early, and they'll mix in that breaking ball as the game goes along, and they get into the second, third time through the order. But really just kind of running at you with that fastball early in the game.
Yeah. First couple innings, your thoughts on Aaron Harang? Obviously, he hasn't pitched since towards the end of spring training, but I think he looks pretty good. Threw too many pitches in the first, but overall pretty good.
Yeah, I think a couple of tough at-bats from Jackson. They kind of stuck around a little bit longer than probably he wanted, but I thought he had a good fastball. Looked like he had good movement, especially against Prince Fielder. He froze him inside there on that nice two-seamer inside, and he looks pretty strong to me.
Drive to the gap. Morris reaches up, makes the catch. So Jackson going right center field for the second time. This time, Morris makes the play. Fastest workers you caught, Dan, in your career?
Actually, the one that jumps into my mind really back in the early days was Cincinnati, was Tom Browning. Tom was a guy that just worked really, really quick. In fact, warming him up before a ball game, you couldn't get the ball fast enough to him, and he just loved to work quickly, and then got a lot of ground balls, kept his guys in the ball game, and that's really what it's all about.
Michael Morris been 6'5", big help on that play. Here's Torrey Hunter, struck out first time. 4 strikeouts for Harang, no walks. Tigers on the board, a leadoff triple by Jackson, and out later Cabrera singled them all. Did you or Joe Oliver catch this number?
Oliver did. In fact, Tom was great. He was a guy that was a little bit superstitious. He'd have to start 17 minutes before the start of the ball game, because that's when he started, when he threw his perfect game. And I mean, he was down to the minute, but he really kept the game moving along, I'll tell you that.
Well, if you're to warm up, you're warming him up, and he missed.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get there 17 minutes. He must have thrown a fit down the line and foul.
Corey!
Ball and 2 strikes. Next week in Houston, we're going to try to catch up with 3 guys who have thrown perfect games. Felix Hernandez, Philip Bumber, and El Presidente. Dennis Martinez. Shoots it right side, base hit. Torrey Hunter's making a living on that this year. Speaking of Felix, do not miss your first chance to pick up one of the most sought-after T-shirts in Seattle, the 2013 Kings Court shirt. You're going to pick up this year's gold tee of Kid Cardinal Seton, this year's inaugural Kings Court, when Felix takes them out tomorrow, 7-10 against these Tigers. It's all for only $30. Get your tickets at mariners.com/Felix. Here's Cabrera with the man at first. Oh, 2 pitch. He hit a bullet through the whole left side for an RBI.
He's one of those guys, stand up watching him, and it's because he's a right-handed hitter, but I think, where do you pitch to this guy? How do you get him out? You better not fall into a pattern, and he's really going to hurt you. And I think that one of the things with that is, as this guy's just out to right field, is Edgar Martinez was that way too. You think you can get him out consistently one particular way, and then the next thing you know, you get a couple of guys out there and they hit a line drive somewhere and drive in some runs on you.
Yeah, they're able to make those adjustments so quickly, and you think, like you mentioned, you think you got him in a spot, and then when the game is on the line, they'll go ahead and attack you in that spot and get the big base hit. So these guys are tough. I think you got to mix it up with these guys. You got to make quality pitches, and then sometimes it comes down to where they're going to do the least amount of damage in a situation or in a location, and you pound that location. But I mean, he won the Triple Crown for a reason. He's a tough hitter, and sometimes you just got to do something different with these guys.
I think that's a good point that you bring up, though, because you see whether it's catchers or pitchers losing track of that, and that is where's the least amount of damage going to be in a given situation. You know what I mean? Right. You know what your strengths are. Maybe you want to do something with the scouting report. Sometimes you have to get away from that just so that if they get a base hit, that's all it is just a base hit.
Exactly. And sometimes you can afford to give up a base hit and keep him in the ballpark, keep the runners on base rather than him going, hitting a home run and bringing both guys in. So really sometimes that comes into play. And with a hitter like Cabrera, that's definitely something that comes into your thinking from time to time.
Here's the 0-1 to Prince Fielder. Took a called third strike his first time. Hits this one pretty well. Deep left center field. Goody tracking though. And a couple steps onto the warning track. Makes the catch to retire Prince Fielder. Torrey Hunter stranded at second base. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Mariners. Shopik, Ackley, and Ryan. Cabrera as we get ready to play the home third here. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Tigers for 2 games tomorrow night and a getaway day game on Thursday. Off to Texas and then Houston, then back home for the Angels and the Orioles. And then, Mike Blowers, the month of May starts for the Mariners.
Excited about it, aren't you, Dave?
For those of you cataloging miles, better make sure that odometer's cleared because that's going to rack up some numbers.
We were talking about it earlier tonight. The Mariners probably will out-travel most of the clubs by the All-Star break.
That's a real safe one.
You missed that, Dan?
Not at all.
Folks, you should see the smile on this guy's face.
Yeah, no question. That's something you contend with up here is the travel below, as you know, and it can take its wear and tear on you, especially early in a year like this. And the Mariners out of the gate 14 in a row, and then the off day yesterday 16 more now in a row, and then you add all those miles on in May. And you were saying earlier, this is a good test for the Mariners early on, this early part of the schedule. They can come out of this in good shape. They're going to set themselves up for a decent second half.
Well, I think so, because if you look at the schedule in April, and we talked about them being on the road for the majority of May, if they can somewhere stay around 500, the schedule eventually is going to turn in their favor.
Ground ball down to the shortstop Peralta. Throws at his former teammate Kelly Shopik, one down.
Of course, the trick is you have to play well and do some things right, especially in May when you're on the road. It's difficult. But I think at that point, you really set yourself up to possibly have a good season if you can survive that part of it. Now, that's the difficult part. One of the things that we've already seen is because they played 14 in a row out of the gate yesterday, obviously they have now 16, and then the travel after that is injuries early here already for these guys.
7 up, 7 down for Doug Fister. Here's Ackley. Strike one.
Well, I do remember a lot of years, Blow, where we had kind of the reverse, where we had a lot of off days early in the year, where we could have used those later in the year. So it kind of sets up nicer to have those off days late in the season. But you're right, those injuries early on, when it's a little bit colder, things don't, you aren't as loose, or you might not be as ready as normal.
I think it's been more difficult for Eric Wedge to manage his club and put his lineup together, because he has to be aware of all those things, which he is. And so to have a steady lineup, get guys kind of in that groove of it, has been difficult for him, because he didn't want to run them out there 14 days in a row right out of spring training. It's been tough, especially in the cooler weather.
Line drive, 8 up, 8 down as Cabrera puts that away. 2 outs. Here in the third. Are you the ultimate Northwest Mariners fan in the state of Oregon? Well, then Root Sports is looking for you throughout the month of May. Capture a photo on Instagram or Twitter with hashtag UltimateNWFanOregon, showing why it should be you. You're going to be entered to win a trip to the VIP experience, the Mariners Fan Appreciation Night in September, right here at Safeco Field. For official rules, visit RootSports.com. 8 up, 8 down, 3 strikeouts for Doug Fister. 2 outs. Here's Brendan Ryan. Break one. Past Mike Brumley, 0-2.
So Brendan Ryan, after that first called strike, you can see, I'm watching him talk to the umpire, John Hirschbeck. That pitch, according to the tracer, was off the plate inside. And kind of the polite way to do it is that as far as he gets in there? Is that it? You know, telling John, I don't really think, but let's not get too carried away in there.
You got to choose your words wisely.
Right.
When did you guys become strong practitioners of the art of subtlety in speaking to an umpire and being able to stay in a ball game?
Well,
a couple, 3 years in, or what?
Yeah, probably a couple of years.
Ground ball, Peralta. Dug out by a fielder, and Doug Fister, 9 up, 9 down through 3. He's got a 1-0 lead. I think time for the AT&T trivia question. Who's the last Mariners player to wear number 42 on a regular basis? Mike Jackson, Butch Husky, Ted Power, Dave Henderson. You guys probably played with him, right?
I'll have to exclude myself. I heard the answer on radio right before I came over. So.
All right, so Dan, looks like you and I are the only contestants. I'm going to go with Mike Jackson. And your answer is going to count for Mike, so you can win or lose for him.
I'm going to go with B, Butch Husky.
There you go. See what the fans have to say. Victor Martinez leads off against Aaron Harang. Strike one. Victor 3-2 pitch flying out to left. Miguel Cabrera RBI single in the first, the only run tonight. Run on 4 hits for Detroit. Mariners have been no hit through 3 by Doug Fister. In fact, perfecto through 3. Martinez, Peralta, and Avila. Martinez has one more potent bat in this lineup. As your pitching starters comparison, both guys working quickly, no walks issue. Both of them on the strikeout train too. Here's the 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Detroit comes in, having won 2 out of 3 in Oakland. Stopped by Shopping. Lost the first game 4-3-12, then won the next 2 games 7-3 and 10-1. Full count to Martinez leading off the 4th inning. Well hit, deep right center field, off the fence. Goody will retrieve, and easing into second with a double is Victor Martinez, a leadoff double here in the 4th, and for Victor's first double of the season.
Victor gets a fastball running away from him, stays on it and drives it out into the gap. Pitch about belt high, fastball at 92 miles an hour. Good swing by Martinez. And I was making the comment, he missed last year and a lot of baseball. It's going to take him a little while, off to a slow start to kind of get back into the swing of things. We saw it actually with Kendrys Morales last year also. You see that ball hit in the middle of the fence. It takes a while to get your timing back when you miss that much time.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him, but you know, obviously he's a tough competitor, tough hitter too as well. That's going to be, I think he's going to be able to get it back, but it does take a little while to get that feel back. And then get that feel back on a daily basis as well.
3rd time in 4 innings. Leadoff man's been aboard here for Detroit. Johnny Peralta with a base hit to right his last time up.
Hey, Johnny!
Aaron's at 66 pitches now, working here in the 4th.
Figure what, it gets through 5 and then
hopefully he's having to throw a lot of pitches here early. You can tell by that 48 strikes. He's throwing a lot of strikes, which is the good news, and he also has a pretty good fastball tonight, Dan. But he still hasn't pitched in a few weeks in spring training.
pitch. Strikes out Peralta. Strikeout number 5 for Aaron Harang. 1 out here in the 4th. You've waited for it all off season. First Mariners matinee of the year. Your first chance to take in a 9-inning lunch break in the ballpark. Waits over on Thursday. Mariners take on the Tigers. Special 12:40 start time. Jet set brown paper bag lunch. Make plans to grab a hot dog with mustard. Get tickets at mariners.com. The pitching matchup, Iwakuma against Verlander in that one. Avila, the catcher, 1-2 pitch struck out.
You mentioned his fastball, Mike. I've been impressed with the velocity. I think he's had some pretty good movement. Looks like he's throwing a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. Detroit's been able to jump on the fastballs that he's made mistakes with, that maybe been up in the zone or on the plate a little bit more. I think all 4 hits have been fastballs, but for the most part, I think his fastball has been a great pitch for him tonight.
1-2 to Alex.
I would agree. And he's surprised me. He has a better fastball than I thought he would have. And it's clear by some of the swings that the Tigers are taking at it that it's getting on them a little bit. It's jumping on them and surprising them too.
Yep. Victor Martinez at second, a leadoff double. Inside the Bill 1-2. Over on a ball. Ackley throws him out. 2 outs, down to third. Martinez. Brings up Omar Infante, fouled out to Smoke his first time. Good look from Penn.
Then you have Kelly Shopping, veteran behind the plate tonight. How much will Eric Wedge rely on him as far as when he thinks Aaron, being his first start, has had enough?
I think he's going to have to rely on him. I think Eric Wedge and Aaron Harang probably will talk about communicate directly to each other as well. But Kelly's going to be a good indication also because he's back there. He's seeing the pitch. He's seeing the velocity. Is the movement returning? Is the movement flattening out as he gets more tired?
Seager, nice play, ends the inning. So Aaron Harang gives up a hit, strands a runner. He's through 4, trailing 1-0 to Doug Fister, who's been perfect through the first 3 innings.
As we get ready for the bottom of the 4th pitching matchup tomorrow, game 2 of the 3-game series. Max Scherzer going for the Tigers, and the King back on the hill for the Mariners, looking to even his record at 2-2. Coming up later, a wild ending between the Rangers and Cubs at Wrigley Field. Right now, let's send it back to Dave. Dan.
Good to have you with us, Tom. Thank you so much. Top of the order for the Mariners, here's Goody, followed by Seager and Morales. Doug Fister, perfect through 3.
Well, second time through the lineup for the Mariners. Take a look at Doug. Find a way to get him in the stretch. Dan, he looks pretty comfortable pitching out of the windup right now. A lot of ground ball outs.
5 ground ball outs, 3 strikeouts.
Out in the air was the line drive to short by Ackley.
Good one.
Go, Franklin!
Back to 2-2 count.
Pretty good curveball right there. You get the 2-0 fastball. It's down and away in that bottom quadrant, and then you got that breaking ball that almost hits right on top of it. Couple of tough pitches right there from Pfister.
2-2. Fights it off.
He had such a good run on his fastball tonight. When he's able to throw his breaking ball after, especially to the right-handed hitters, it's going to be difficult for them to stay on it, because you can see on that last pitch, just running it right in on the hands of Gutierrez. 44 pitches now for Doug.
Chop foul.
There it was again. You know, he's not going to overwhelm you on the velocity meter, but the movement is everything for Doug Pfister, and he just gets so many ground ball outs because of that movement.
His location has been good tonight. It seems that if he hits the plate, it's on a corner. If he misses, it's off the plate. Nothing in the middle for these guys to handle so far.
2-2 to Goody. Outside, full count. Mariners looking for their first base runner. On deck, Kyle Seager. Pfister 7 innings, scoreless, 4-hit ball last May against the Mariners, but blown safe coming out of the bullpen cost him in that one. Broken bat Looper. Coming in Hunter, going back second baseman, and Infante makes the catch. 10 up, 10 down for Pfister. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Kyle Seager round out the second, his first time up.
Let's go, Kyle!
3 strikeouts registered this evening by Doug Pfister to this point. Detroit 1-0 on a first inning leadoff triple, and Cabrera singled home Austin Jackson.
Actually, Ichiro's
Good job by Kyle to step out, try to slow Pfister down a tad. Breaking ball for a strike, 1-2. Center field backing up Jackson. Watching it get over his head. Can't make the catch. One hop off the fence, and Seager in with a double. That breaks up the perfect game for Doug Pfister. A long double by Kyle Seager, his 7th two-bagger of the season, a team leader in that category.
Well, Dan, we were just talking about getting a pitch on the plate somewhere, and Pfister trying to go inside in the inside corner, but this actually runs out middle in. And Kyle puts a great swing on it, just blisters this ball out to center field over the head of Austin Jackson. Our McDonald's Supermo, you can see him barrel it up. And finally somebody gets a ball on the plate that they can handle.
Yeah, absolutely. He threw that curveball away to Seager that really kind of set up that fastball inside. But like you mentioned, it kind of just creeped back on the plate a little bit too much. And that's the danger with that two-seamer inside to a lefty, Mike. And so many times it's a very effective pitch when you start it in off the plate to a lefty. But when you get it on the plate so that it runs onto the plate, that's when they can go to work, and that's what Kyle Seager did. He didn't miss it.
A couple of pitches on the inside corner to Morales. He's unhappy. 0-2. Went in there again to the gap in right center. Long run, Hunter. Not going to get it. We get a tie ball game. Kendrys Morales with an RBI double. 1-1 ball game here in the 4th. Back-to-back doubles by the Mariners. Morales with his 4th double, his 7th RBI.
Well, sometimes we were talking about Pfister comfortable pitching out of the windup. Kyle gets a double, puts him in the stretch. And all 3 pitches to Morales in the middle of the plate. That last one was elevated, but all of them towards the center of the plate. Morales is able to get on top of this and drive it into the gap. You can see how high that pitch is. Had to fight to get to it. But a good swing by Kendrys. Continues his hot hitting with runners in scoring position. Good sign for the Mariners.
That's a good job, too. Boy, he's behind 0-2. Got the job done. Sets up Michael Morse now. Career double number 100. Kendrys Morales. 7 for 12 now. Runners in scoring position is Morales with 6 runs batted in. Morse a ground out to third his first time.
That is a ball.
Blue padding. Got rid of that.
Let's go, Michael.
A little pinky. Right hand. Down a right field line. Hunter running out of room. About 4 rows deep. 1-2. Root Sports present the all-new game control and interactive second screen experience that brings you closer to the game than ever before. Get live game stats, trends, and analysis. Visit rootsports.com/northwest. Click on the game control banner. Do it right now. Connect and get in on all the action. 1-2 to Michael Morse. A run in on the RBI double by Morales. Base hit up the middle. Here comes Morales. Austin Jackson with the throw. Here's the throw. It's offline. Morales is in safely. Mariners lead 2-1 on an RBI single by Michael Morse. It's his 10th RBI and 3 consecutive hits now against Pfister with 1 out in the 4th.
I think with Michael, Dan, one of the things that everybody wants to talk about is the power in the home runs. But this is a pitch inside, and what a job he does of getting his hands inside that ball. You can see the curve on it, slicing it back up the middle. Just a really good piece of hitting so that he doesn't just hit a ground ball to short right there. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, absolutely, and especially what we were talking about with Pfister, with that ball running in on Michael Morse. You really have to fight to stay inside of it, and with the bad finger and all, he really does do a nice job of staying inside and driving that ball right up the middle, pick up the RBI, and put the Mariners ahead.
10 consecutive hitters retired now. Double, single. 2 runs on the board for the Mariners.
They're all hit hard. Mariners 2 for 2 with runners in scoring position.
Raul pops one up. One back shortstop, Peralta. He's got to play. 2 outs. See if Smoke can get something going. He took a cold 3rd strike to end the 2nd inning. Breaking ball, that misses. There you go, Morales. RBI double followed Seager's double. Morales scoring on the Morse base hit. Way out front.
Sticking with off-speed pitches. And I was saying that over the weekend, Justin saw a lot of off-speed pitches. That one was a changeup, but started him with the curveball.
Let's go!
You know that it's okay to sit on one of those. Try to get him off of it so you can finally get some fastballs. Another changeup.
1-2.
Hey, let's get the ball next time!
Yeah, the best way to let a pitcher know you can handle it is by handling it, get your base hit, get back to that fastball. Probably see a fastball here up in the zone somewhere. Probably not a strike, but
1-2 pitch. Ran one away from him. 2-2. Two runs on 3 hits for the Mariners, who run on 5 hits for Detroit. 2-2.
Let's go, Justin!
2-2 pitch.
You see a pitcher like Doug was just doing, shaking all those pitches off. Is that more because he doesn't like the location, or because he obviously doesn't have 7 pitches he's throwing?
No, yeah, and I was trying to figure that out too. And I don't know, sometimes a catcher will give him a shake just to kind of put another thought in Justin Smoak's head. Where's he going with this? What's he doing? He shook so many times, but it also could be the fact that he liked one of the pitches that he called, but not the location that he called it.
Ooh. Full count.
Take a look at it. Just gets out of the way. Man, that was a lot closer than I thought.
3-2. Morris at first. He takes off. Pitch. Slow breaking ball misses and Smokes aboard with a walk. The first walk of the ball game. Mariners with first and second. 2 outs for Kelly Shopik.
Pitching coach Jeff Jones making a trip to the mound.
Probably just to settle Doug down here.
He's throwing a lot of pitches in this inning.
Yeah. Throwing a lot of pitches, a little bit of a momentum change here, and a chance to control the damage here with just 2 Mariner runs and give up a base hit here, then things can kind of unravel a little bit more quickly. But
probably just talking to him, just execute your next pitch, try to get that ground ball and get off the field, right?
Yeah.
Couple of runners on for Shopik here with 2 outs. Doug Fister retired the first 10 men that he faced. Seager doubled to straightaway center. Morales doubled to right center. Moore singled up the middle. 2 runs for the Mariners, looking for more. 4 base runners here in the 4th inning after Fister was perfect through the first 10 hitters.
Hey, let's go.
The good news, not only scoring a couple of runs, but keeping Fister on the field is Aaron Harang getting a chance to rest a little bit again. His first starts in spring training.
Breaking ball for strike, 1-1. Rip fouled it off.
It'll be important for Harang here, Mike, as he turns the Detroit order over for the 3rd time here and begins after the 9-hole hitter. They're going to, after scoring 2 runs here in this thing, it's going to be important to get the Mariners back off the field and into the dugout and keep this momentum shift on their side. And this Detroit lineup is tough. They're going to come out swinging, but this is an important inning coming up for Aaron Harang.
Does he change anything he's been doing?
No, I don't think he changes it other than what you would normally change facing the order 3rd time through.
Shopping down to the shortstop for Walden. Throws him out. A good inning for the Mariners as they get 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, leave 2. They've taken a 2-1 lead on the Tigers. nobody works harder for you. Aaron Harang in his first Mariners start, his first American League action since '06, and looking good with 5 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. And he's a guy during the course of his career who's relied on fastball. He's got some good movement here tonight, Dan.
Yeah, he's got a nice fastball. Low 90s, 92, 93 miles an hour, but some good movement on it and some good location. He's kept these guys in check.
Don Kelly looks at strike one. It'll be Kelly, Jackson, and Hunter, 9-1-2. Harang last year, 65% of his pitches were fastballs. Foul off. 12,379 on hand here.
75 pitches into it. That's exactly where he's at right now, Dave. 65% of them fastballs.
Last year, 22% slider, 8% curveball, and 4% change. Kelly pops one up. And Ryan barely had to move. 5 and let him fly. You figure if he can get out of this one? 2-1.
I don't know, Dan. I think if he feels good, it is his first outing, but he has also been working out. He threw a bullpen when he first came here. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you let him go. I mean, he's a veteran. I think he's going to know himself pretty well, and if he feels like he can do it, I think Eric Wedge probably gives him a chance to go back out there for the 6th.
Breaking ball to Jackson. Triple to right center and fly to right center. Takes a strike. Check the swing. 0-2.
Austin, don't miss.
He's had a couple of really good years where he won 16 games. Center field. Rudy's got it under control, makes the catch. Tigers center fielder is retired. 2 outs. We visit our trivia question. Last Mariner to wear 42 on a regular basis. I went with Mike Jackson. Ben went with Butch Husky. Fans went with Dave Henderson. Last player to wear it was Butch Husky. Let it go, Dan. Back in 1999. Butch Husky. There's a full list of guys who wore the number. Tom Brown, Hendu, Christensen, Omar.
I remember Omar wearing 42. Omar Vizquel.
Some good names up there.
Yeah.
Ted Power, a right-hander award for a season.
Did you have him in Cincinnati at all?
Yes. Yeah. And then here, I don't know. I think 93 was his last year. I remember him in spring training.
Up the middle, Ryan can't get it, base hit. Torrey Hunter's aboard.
I'll tell you, part of the reason I remember it was Butch Husky. We were playing a game in the Metrodome, and Butch playing left field.
Right.
Ball hit deep. He's running, and doesn't really realize he's on the warning track. And as he turns around to take a look at the wall, he runs flat smack face into the wall, falls back on his back. And the reason I remember it was 42 was because the next day.
We all know where you're going.
The players had put the police tape up there on the wall with the number 42 on it.
Let me guess, Junior.
And it was the outline of his body as it hit the wall. It was pretty well done.
Oh my goodness.
Butch was a big man. He had to hurt that wall a little bit.
It was a collision to be remembered.
Good job, Dan. Ted Powers last year in the Bigs with the Mariners at 93. Check swing by Cabrera. Ted a 68 game winner, 68-69. That's his record in 13 years. Two outs. Hunter at first. And Miguel Cabrera, MVP, Triple Crown winner at the plate, a 1-1 count.
85 pitches now for Aaron, 62 strikes. 14 first pitch strikes to the 21 batters that he has faced.
One pitch. Ready for strike. Detroit broke on top. But hey, it's Jackie Rabbits tonight for everybody, huh? Look at that. Even a beer guy. Wearing 42 tonight. Jerseys will be auctioned off. Charity. Big pitch at 1-2. Cat-like quickness, Kelly Shopik.
Nice job by Kelly there. Important for Aaron Harang to know, especially a hitter like Cabrera. He's able to bury that curveball down low, and Shopik's going to be there to knock it down, and that's a big boost of confidence for a pitcher out there. And says, especially with a guy like Cabrera, you got to make that good pitch down low.
5 strikeouts for Harang. He hasn't walked anybody. Got a 2-2 count here to Miguel. Center field and deep. Goody running out of room. That ball's gone. Oh, there, what a shot. 2-run home run for Miguel Cabrera, his second home run. RBIs 14 and 15. And another lead changes. Detroit has the advantage 3-2.
Hey, Miguel!
I have to say, Dan, this is actually a pretty good pitch. It's a fastball, and he throws it right on the outside corner, maybe even just off the plate away. Sometimes you just have to tip your hat. This is a really good hitter, and to hit that ball out of the ballpark is pretty special.
See, you get full extension, gets the ball in the barrel, but you're right, Mike. It's just off the plate. A pretty good pitch.
2-2 pitch, and he gave it a ride. Here's Fielder.
That's the tough part when we were talking about early in the game was pitching to where you think the least amount of damage is, and that's a pitch just off the plate away, thinking you're going to be all right. And then he takes it out of center field.
You know, 95% of the league swings and misses at that pitch, but you know, he's in that top 5% for sure.
Cabrera's driven in all 3 runs. Hit that one 395 feet. 1-1 to Fielder. Okay, 2.
Charlie Furbush.
Harang, he's got 2 outs here in the 5th, down 3-2.
Well, and I think now that he's at 92 pitches, again, having to throw some pitches in this inning, I would think this is it for him.
Yeah, I would agree.
7 hits for Detroit. 2-2. Good pitch that Cabrera hit, and over the last 3 years for Harang, batting average against his fastball over the last 3 years has really gone down considerably. Cabrera's a special kind of hitter. We checked down to 3rd, did not go, says James Hoy, so a full count to Fielder.
It's like the curveball, good breaking ball down. Kelly Shopik asking for help and walking away. Like, if you get it, trying to steal it, Danny?
He was trying what he was trying. Try to sell that one as best he could.
3-2 to Fielder. Strike 3 call. No objection from Prince again. Second time Harang's got him looking. More importantly, damage done by Cabrera again. He's driven in all 3 runs for Detroit. Detroit runs. An RBI single in the first, 2-run homer in the top half of the fifth. But the Mariners got to go back to work. Another lead change as Ackley will lead it off. Dustin lined out to the shortstop, Johnny Peralta, his first time up. One from Doug Fister. Fister retired the first 10 men that he faced. And then a big fourth inning for the Mariners. Double RBI single, gave him a brief lead at 2-1. Ackley behind 1-2. What are you seeing with Dustin besides the ugly number? Oof. Way out front. Boy, he was lost. 1 out. 2-3. K. Strikeout number 4. Cure your midweek blues with a night out at Safeco Field for the entire family. Tomorrow the Mariners take on the Tigers at 7:10, and each member of the family can pick up a ticket, a hot dog, and a Pepsi for as low as $15. It's all part of Safeco Insurance Grand Slam Family Package nights at the ballpark. For tickets to this affordable outing for the whole gang, log on to mariners.com/specials. Hate to see you guys struggle like that. Man, oh man. 1 out. That is strikeout number 4 for Doug Fister. Brings up Brendan Ryan. Breaking ball misses. Ryan grounded out to short. Cabrera in a step at third. And that one goes right by him, but foul. 3 runs, 7 hits for Detroit. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Mariners. All those coming in the 4th inning. Fister, as you'd imagine, excited about playing against his old team. Breaking ball catches that corner, 1-2. Max Scherzer and Felix Hernandez tomorrow. Justin Verlander and Hisashi Iwakuma. 12:40 start time on Thursday. Comebacker. Fister, good athlete, very good fielder. Throws out Ryan. 2 outs. Quick 2 outs. Top of the order. Goody will step in again. Catch all new episodes of Mariners All Access every Sunday throughout the season prior to the Mariners pregame show. Get exclusive sights and sounds from the week as they play on the field. If you miss Sunday's episode, tune in for re-airs throughout the week on Root Sports. Local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com. 0-2 night. 0 for 2 night for Goody. Round out to short, pop to second. Breaking ball misses. Ball 1. Morales with an RBI double. Morse with an RBI single for the Mariner runs. Cabrera's done it all for Detroit. 2-0. Charlie Furbush still throwing. Aaron Harang struck out 6, didn't walk anybody in his Mariner debut.
Yeah, I have to believe Charlie's in the game, and Aaron is done for the night. His first start of the year.
Ground ball surrounded by Peralta. Easy play. Fister back in a groove here in the 5th inning. Mariners go quietly. And Aaron Harang solid for 5, but he trails 3-2.
brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports being brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Sterling Bank, nobody works harder for you. Equal housing lender member FDIC. And by Linwood Honda, experience the difference. 3-2 Detroit lead, first of a 3-game set. Miguel Cabrera has done all the damage with a first-inning single and a 2-run homer in the 5th. Aaron Harang, not a bad performance. Threw 5 in his first Mariner outing.
They gave up the 7 hits, just the 3 earned runs. 6 strikeouts, Dave, and no walks. You got to love that. 95 pitches on the evening. Thought he had a great fastball, and really when you look at the night, it's really just that guy in the middle of the order for Detroit who hurt him. But other than that, I think a really nice outing for Aaron Harang.
The ball that, well, here's Charlie Furbush. Charlie takes over. The ball that Cabrera hits, Albert Pujols, maybe what, 1 or 2 other guys hit that out?
Maybe tops. I mean, that was, I thought it was a pretty good pitch. This will be the 7th appearance for Charlie. 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, giving up 1 home run. I mean, it's tough to get a hit on a pitch like that, much less drive it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, to center. I mean, he got all of it. Biggest part of the ballpark. Good ball player.
Yeah, I think he went Triple Crown for sure.
I think he did.
And MVP. 2 Shep. Also won the Hank Aaron Award. American League's most outstanding offensive performer. Back-to-back American League batting titles, too. Got a good one here in Victor Martinez. He doubled to right center. He's 1 for 2. Victor Martinez, followed by Johnny Peralta and Alex Avila. 5, 6, and 7 for Detroit. Switch hitter Martinez turned around here against Charlie Furbush. 1-2. Jimmy Leyland would love to get another shot at that World Series. Giants got him at 4 last year. Lloyd McClendon to the right of your screen, the lead hitting coach. 1-2. Victor shoots one in the right field for a base hit. He's 2 for 3. Get downtown from the airport for only $275 on Sound Transit's Link Light Rail. See how easy it is at soundtransit.org. And just beyond, let's see, once this train passes, you're going to see beautiful Safeco Field. There you have it. Great way to get to and from the ballpark, get to downtown. The hitter's Johnny Peralta. Ball 1 to Johnny's. Base hit to right and strikeout.
Been impressed, Mike, with the Detroit hitters tonight and their ability to stay inside the ball. We've seen a lot of balls hit to right center field. Torrey Hunter's been out that way. Austin Jackson. Martinez right there, a little base hit to right field. These guys are doing a really nice job just staying inside and taking what they can get.
Well, they have, and I made the comment, Dan, before you came over here when you were over on the radio side of things, that it's unusual when you see a club that, as far as the team average goes, leading the league. And I know it's early in the season, just a couple of weeks into it, but they're leading the league and they have so many right-handed hitters.
Yep.
And the only way that's going to happen is if these guys use the entire field, and to have a group of right-handed hitters that with the ability to do that is something that's also a little bit unusual. You don't necessarily see that very often.
Their 307 is well ahead of Colorado's 277 that leads the National. Shopper keeps it in front.
Blake Bevan. Out in the bullpen. He had been in the rotation, obviously, with Aaron Harang coming in. They moved Blake out to the pen, be a long reliever, and probably also to give him a chance to work some things out. He'd struggled in his first couple of outings. Dan Snell would go out there, and instead of having to work his way through a lineup 3 times, he can come in and try to get some confidence going again.
Swing and a miss, 2-2 to Johnny Peralta. Houston leads at Oakland 2-1, bottom of the 5th. Here's a 2-2 to Johnny. Off the plate. Angels lost at Minnesota 8-6. Texas wins at Chicago at the Cubs 4-2. Two to Peralta. Struck him out. Good pitch. First out. The 6th inning. Joey's first strikeout.
Charlie not messing around. I thought maybe when I saw Shopping set up inside he would go to a slider, but he doesn't. It just goes with a good fastball up out over the plate that Peralta swings through. He decided to challenge him, and it paid off that time. Fastball just above the belt.
Could really see on that tracer, Mike, that Furbush really trying to work him down and in and up and away, and the up and away was the pitch that got that swinging strike 3.
Here's a catcher, Alex Avila. Strikeout and a ground out to second. Strike 1. Only 2 to Alex. Mariners don't see Detroit again till mid-September. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 night games and a day game, 16th through the 19th. Next time we'll see the Tigers. Don't see Kansas City till late August at KC. Here's the 0-2. Next matchup that's coming up tomorrow, CenturyLink to what's next. Max Scherzer is K through 9. Among the best in baseball, goes against Felix Hernandez. Infield double play, depth up the middle. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Avila's gone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Charlie Furbush. 2 down.
Charlie gets him with the slider. His pitch against the left-handed hitters. Typically he'll throw a fastball usually up in the zone to show it to him, but he wants to get him out with his breaking ball, and you can see Avila guessed wrong. He was clearly thinking he was going to get a fastball. Good pitch from Charlie.
There's Omar Infante, 0 for 2. Down to third, Seager, no problem. Throws the athlete for the force, and that'll do it. So Furbush gives up a leadoff single to Martinez. They leave him out there. Home 6 coming up. It'll be Seager, Morales, and Morse coming up.
Cubs as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Looking ahead to the series finale, day duty on Thursday. Terrific pitching matchup, one of the best in the business, of course, and Justin Verlander at 2-1, an ERA under 2. Nobody's been better for the Mariners this season so far than Hisashi Iwakuma, looking to run his record to 3-0. Let's rejoin Dave, Mike, and Dan.
All right, thank you, Tom. Kyle Seager will lead it off against Doug Fister's 4th inning double tied him with Washington's Ian Desmond for the major league lead in doubles. 7 doubles in the early going. Kyle leads the American League.
Kyle off to a slow start, but looks like he's starting to come out of it. Dan's taking him a little bit of time, but you see, as David mentioned, those doubles, 35 of them last year. Look to go with the 20 home runs. It looks like he's starting to square the ball up, I don't know, with more consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball's a little bit more consistent for Kyle. He got that pitch. Pfister had been cruising along, and he got that pitch on the plate. One of the few mistakes that Pfister had made, and he jumped all over it. So, coming around.
It's a good changeup.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Seager to be followed by Morales and Morse. 2, 3, and 4 here for the Mariners in the 6th. Going against Doug Fister, a 2-0 record, a 2.77 ERA. Doug retired the first 10 men that he faced here in this ballgame.
Still in good shape for this pitch count, working in the 6th, 87 pitches.
2-2 to Seager. Off the play, full count. On deck is Kendrys Morales, 1 for 2 in an RBI. One hopper to the second baseman, Infante. Throws out Seager for the first out in the 6th inning. Circle your calendar to see Felix Tustanacli and the Mariners at Safeco Field not once, not twice, but 16 times this season. It's made easy with the Mariners 16-game plan. Choose from 9 plans that offer you big savings and season ticket holder benefits. Plans start as low as $258, so select yours right now. Mariners.com/16. Quick one to Morales. Double to deep right center field. Knocked in Seager, who had doubled right before him in the 4th inning. He's behind 0-2.
I think really the Mariners somewhat fortunate to be in this game 3-2. 3 hits. They were able to bunch them together. Double by Seager, double by Morales, and the base hit the middle by Morris, and that has been hit off the Pfister.
Pfister working quickly as per usual. 1-2, just got a piece of it.
Done a good job of mixing it up. Right there at 54% fastballs. So between his changeup and his curveball and his slider, Danny's really mixed up all of his pitches, and even his fastball, because of the movement that he gets on. Just tough. It's just a little curved.
Fielder, sure hands, feeds to Pfister, one of the better fielding pitchers around. Fielder coming into tonight's game, 43% fastball pitching and 32% changeup. Bring up Michael Morse.
Well, missed 3 days back in the lineups, picked up a base hit and an RBI. It's going to be important for them all year, Danny. They're going to have to keep this guy healthy and on the field.
Absolutely. He's a guy that teams will fear, and that's what you want in the middle of that lineup. A guy with some pop.
Bad finger to broken finger. Looks at the breaking ball. Strike 1. Michael's hit in 10 of the 11 games that he's played. Short center field, right center field for Austin Jackson. Quiet inning for the Mariners in the 6th. Couple of ground outs and an easy pop. Pfister through 6, leads 3-2. Root Sports is being brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. And by Mazda. We believe it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Great look at the hand-operated scoreboard here at Safeco Field. 3-2 ball game. Miguel Cabrera's done all the damage for Detroit. A first-inning RBI single, a 2-run shot in the 5th. Charlie Furbush in his 2nd inning of work gave up a single, struck out 2 in the 6th. Don Kelly will lead off. Kelly, then Austin Jackson, and Torrey Hunter, 9-1-2, strike 1. Breaking ball misses. Kelly tonight, strikeout and a pop to short. Comes 1-1.
Yeah, Blake Bevan getting loose in the pen. I think Kyle Seager probably fortunate that wasn't a strike, because Kelly runs well, and if he gets any sort of bunt down at all, he would have been able to walk to first, because Kyle was playing deep. Now he's moved up even with the bag at third, take the bunt away from him.
Did he go? Yes, sir. This is James Hoy, 2-2.
Charlie with some sliders away from Kelly, and then he runs that fastball right in there, Mike. Really kind of surprised him.
Tied him up.
Tied him up.
Didn't want to swing at it. No.
2-2 pitch. Austin Jackson's on deck, led off the ballgame with the triple to right center, scored an out later on the Cabrera single. That was back in the 1st inning. Struck him out. Nasty breaking ball by Charlie Furbush. He struck out 3 now of the 5 men that he's faced. Roster move made earlier today, fellas. Stephen Pryor, DL, tearing his right lat. That's not good.
That hurts. That hurts the club too.
Big time.
He is probably their best guy out of the pen. He and Tom were on fire coming out of there. It was just almost no-hit stuff when those guys would step on the field. So that one's going to hurt.
But Medina's got big shoes to fill. He was recalled from Tacoma. That'll do it for Charlie Furbush. Bring on Blake Bevan, his first relief appearance of the season. 3-2 Detroit in the 7th.
4-2. Welcome to the Ford Sports Desk. Tonight in Chicago, the Rangers trying to hold off a Cubs rally in the ninth as we take you to the Windy City. Chicago trailing 4-2 in the ninth. Tying runs on. Joe Nathan trying to close it out for Texas. Darwin Barney lines to center. Chris Gentry makes that terrific diving catch, and the Rangers survive to beat the Cubs 4-2. Let's send it back to Dave, Mike, and Dan.
That Cub rally falling just a little bit short. Gentry, we talk about all the time, one of the 4 or 5 fastest guys in the American League, if not all of baseball.
Without question. Take a look at Blake Bevan. And again, going out to the bullpen. This will be his 3rd appearance. First appearance out of the pen this year. Struggled in his 2 outings as a starter, so he's trying to get things figured out.
Chris Gentry. I'm thinking of somebody else. Craig Gentry, of course, Texas. Big swing and a miss by Jackson. 1 out here in the 7th.
Looked like it was a little cold back there in the Midwest, though, Blow. Gentry with the ear flaps on.
Yeah, when we were in Chicago, Dave and I needed the ear flaps on. A little chilly.
Man. Second night was what? Then Saturday night was really bad. 1-1 to Jackson. Finds a hole. Base hit. Sounds like he broke his bat in the process. His 2nd hit tonight. 2 for 4 for Austin. Jackson brings up Torrey Hunter, who's 2 for 3 with the run scored.
Well, it's a good pitch from Blake. He's able to keep the ball down and away from him. Fools him on the pitch. Jackson hits it on the ground. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, off the end of the bat, breaks his bat. Able to find a hole on the left side of the infield. Good pitch from Blake, though.
Sometimes they find a hole, Blow.
I'll tell you, and when you're struggling trying to figure things out, sometimes you need him to hit it at somebody. And, you know, you're trying to get your confidence back, and Blake needs to look at that as that was a good pitch. And sometimes you're just going to give up hits and not stress over it.
Torrey Hunter having a good night. 2 for 3. Got good speed out there in Jackson. 1 for 1 in base hit. There's a strike. Bobby Laframboise warming up for the Mariners. Austin Jackson's. He stole 12 bases last year, got caught 9 times. 0-2 to Hunter. What a game by Doug Fister. Retired. Has retired now 7 in a row after a shaky 4th inning in which he gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. He started the game retiring the first 10 men that he faced. So bracketed around that big 4th inning by the Mariners, nothing but zeros. Pitch out, nothing doing. 1-2. Rick Wedge hoping that Blake Bevan get back strike throwing self, particularly off the breaking ball.
Look at it. It's not the strikes, it's the quality of the strikes. He's only walked 1 batter, but he's given up a lot of hits because a lot of those pitches have been in the middle of the plate. One reason why I was making the point down that the base hit that Austin had, that was a good pitch that was down and away on the corner. He needs to stay right there. He'll have more success, though. That not everybody's going to be able to get a hit on a pitch like that.
On 2 strikes.
Yeah, you make a similar pitch in this situation, you probably end up with a double play and you're out of the inning. Right.
2. Hunter tried to shoot one right side with Jackson on the move. Jackson getting a good lead at first. 1 out. 1-2 count to Hunter with Cabrera on deck. Two. Evan coming in with a big ERA and opponent's average 3.48 against him. Did things right. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jackson goes. Pitch, swing on a miss. Throw by Shoppick is not in time. Stolen base for Jackson, his second. 2 down.
That's a nice throw by Shoppick. You can see Hunter with the swing. Shoppick gets the ball a little bit low, but then has the throw down to actually a little bit high. And when the throw is up like that, it takes that a little bit extra time to get the tag down, Mike, and that's really what the difference was. Austin Jackson able to slide in just underneath the tag. So a good throw, very accurate.
He was quick back there. He got rid of it quick.
Got rid of it quick.
Yeah.
Fouled off by Cabrera, who's 2 for 3 last time up. He covers a heck of a pitch here, 2-2. They did a long way to get him for 395 feet. They got to make the catch. That put Detroit back on top 3-2 after the Mariners had taken a 2-1 lead in the 4th. To hold again, his 3rd hit. Jackson can fly, and a throw not in time. So the Miguel Cabrera show here in Seattle. He's driven in all 4 Detroit runs. 3 for 4 tonight for the American League MVP and Triple Crown winner.
Like trying to make a good pitch on him. Again, the pitch is down. Right on the inside corner. The pitch that he hit out was away from him, so he's just locked in right now. Not much you can do with him.
Cabrera came in a 320 hitter, and he has added significantly to that pitching change. Back with more right after this. The American League MVP and Triple Crown winner, the tall guy. Not Rafael Belliard, who was a good player. We're talking about Miguel Cabrera. Special kind of hitter, guys.
Yeah, he's picked up all 4 RBIs in this game. There's the first base hit to drive in a run. 3 of the RBIs came with 2 outs. Here's the home run. Again, a good pitch from Aaron Harang. You can see him reach out for that and drives it over the center field fence. And then Blake decides to go inside. It is. It's right on the inside corner and down. But another base hit to left field with Jackson at second. He scores easily.
Has all 3 of those locations covered, Mike. Off the plate away, up and in, and down and in. He's gotten hits in all those different areas. And when you got a guy who's that kind of a player, that talented of a player, and he's locked in, there's not a lot you can do.
Here's Prince Fielder. Bobby Laframboise, the left-hander, against Prince. Fielder today struck out looking, fly to center, and struck out looking.
There aren't too many options. You talk about well pitched around him, but then you have this guy coming up next. 400 average, leading the club in home runs with 4 and RBIs with 19.
Martinez behind him. He's 2 for 3.
I see those 19 RBIs, and it's telling me that some other clubs have tried to maybe pitch around Cabrera, and he's made them pay for it in a big way. Yeah, it's tough. Tough lineup to work through.
Fielder hitting .571 against lefty pitching, 8 for 14, 2 homers and 5 runs batted in.
Third appearance of the year. Hasn't given up an earned run yet. A couple of strikeouts, 1 walk for him.
Some tough ball club. Detroit Tigers. 1, 2, 3 in New York. 7 for 12 tonight. A homer, 4 RBIs, 4 runs scored. 1 and 2 to Fielder. Just got a piece of it. On 2 strikes. Boys misses outside. New Leland's club up by 2. Two to Fielder. Check swing, he did go, says John Hirschbeck. That'll do it for the Tigers in the 7th. They get another run courtesy of Miguel Cabrera. What's the Mariner response? We're going to find out when Raul Ibanez comes up, followed by Justin Smoke and Kelly Shopik. Being brought to you by Washington's Lottery. Want more chances to win some cash? Buy a $5 Mega Millions ticket with a $5 Mega Flyer and receive a voucher for a chance to win one of 5 $1,000 prizes each week. Play bonus play from Washington's Lottery today. Visit WALottery.com for details. Beautiful night here in the Emerald City. 4-2 Detroit, first of 3. And the Mariners trying to get to their old teammate Doug Fister. He's had 1 hiccup inning, 2 runs on 3 hits in the 4th inning. He started the ballgame retiring the first 10 men that he faced, then gives up a double to Seager, an RBI double to Morales, and an RBI single to Moore. Since then, the Mariners have been no hit again. They're up to Ibanez. It's a strike. Ibanez throws, strike out, and a pop to short. 2 for 4 on Sunday was Raul. A home run, second of the year. Coming over Cabrera. Makes the play.
I guess the only good news is Doug Fister now is at 100 pitches, so this will probably be his last inning game because he's been on top of his game. We talked about it earlier, the 3 hits the Mariners were able to bunch together, but other than that, he's been pretty good today.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think, you know, his fastball location, Mike, has been so outstanding. He's kept the ball down, and then he's mixed in that breaking ball, good curveball, and a changeup, and boy, he's just been a blueprint of pitching tonight.
Back up the middle. Base hit off the bat of Justin Smoke. It's the 4th Mariner hit that ends a run of 8 consecutive hitters retired.
And Justin doesn't wait around. Jumps on a fastball. 88 miles an hour. It's up in the zone. Hits it back up the middle. And for Justin, he's seen a lot of breaking balls and changeups today. So he jumps on the first fastball that he sees and finds himself with a base hit.
See that pitch just off the plate, Mike, but when it's elevated like that, it's so much easier to get to it. And Justin does a nice job of getting that ball up the middle.
Full extension, didn't roll over on it, which was a good sign for him.
Kelly Shop a couple of ground outs at shortstop. Looks at ball 1. Foul. Second night for that youngster. Albuquerque, the right-hander. Phil Koch, the left-hander, warming up for Detroit. Jackie Robinson night. Everybody wearing 42. 9 games last night, 6 tonight. 6 more games involving teams that didn't play last night, so that's why Mariners and the Tigers won 42 this evening. All 2 strikes to Kelly Shopper. Doug Fister with strikeout number 5. 2 down here in the 7th. Keep up with your favorite Northwest teams by signing up for the Root Sports eConnect. It's the weekly email newsletter that keeps you up to date with programming, highlights, scores, and exclusive promotions. Visit rootsports.com and sign up today. Here's Ackley with 2 outs, lined out to short and struck out. Strike 1. Fister's last start against Toronto, 8 innings, 8 hits, a run, 5 Ks, got a win. He's 6 2/3 here. And a ground ball to the second baseman. Infante, and he throws out Ackley, and the Mariners leave a man stranded in the 7th. To the 8th we go. Pfister and the Tigers lead 4-2. Four-2 Tigers, first of 3 here at Safeco Field. Beautiful night here in Seattle. MLB.com. At Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Mariners baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Mariners.com for details. 12,379 on hand here watching the Detroit Tigers, #1 hitting team in Major League Baseball, starting today. Bobby Lapham-Boyce starting his 2nd inning. Martinez having a good night, 2 for 3. Victor Martinez, Johnny Peralta, and Alex Avila. 5, 6, and 7 for Detroit. Mariners runs come in the 4th inning. 2 runs on 3 hits. They had no hits before that, and only 1 since.
Well, sometimes you end up just getting the bad draw. Doug Pfister, when you look at the series, is a guy you don't really worry about not being able to put him in play. You can put him in play, but a lot of ground ball outs. Then tomorrow you get Max Scherzer going, plus type of stuff, big strikeout guy, and then of course the day game, Verlander. Sometimes it's just a bad draw for you, guys.
Line drive, base hit, Victor Martinez. His 3rd consecutive hit, 3 for 4. Look at our Century link to what's next. Good pitching matchups. Max Scherzer against the King tomorrow. Felix Hernandez. And then Thursday, Hisashi Iwakuma, who has been outstanding, a 2.18 ERA, but he's going against the defending Cy Young Award winner in the American League, Justin Verlander. Look at that. 1.96 ERA, a 2.06 batting average against. There's Johnny Peralta. Late, strike 1. Johnny with a base hit to right. 2nd inning, struck out his next 2 times up.
Right, well, that's quite a trio of starters, and when you're trying to get things together and you're trying to find yourself, you're scuffling a little bit. Those are the 3 tough guys to try to find it against, and Mariner hitters are going to have their work cut out for them in the next couple of days.
Pulled foul.
saw with Pfister tonight, he just hasn't made that many mistakes.
No, he hasn't.
Kyle Seager jumped on one pitch that was a mistake. They were able to get a couple more hits in that inning. But these guys with this staff, you're not going to see a lot of balls on the plate this particular series.
Oh, and 2.
And hitters know that. They look and see what the rotation is going to be when guys are coming to town or you end up somewhere. So they're aware of it. You just have to try to find a way to check in somewhere.
Yeah.
Doug Pfister having a conversation with assistant head trainer Rob Nodine, giving each other a needle. Doug's a terrific teammate with the Mariners. Was on several January caravans with great visiting the hospitals and the kids and everything. Well, stroke left field. On hop off the fence. Martinez the third. And in safely with the double is Johnny Peralta, his second hit tonight. The Tigers have second and third. Nobody out here in the eighth.
Well, this is a fastball. We'll see what their location is. Peralta likes the ball close to him. That one's right in the middle of the plate. Just hooks it down into the corner.
Second double by Detroit tonight. 2 runners in scoring position for Alex Avila, who's 0 for 3. Ground out the second, sandwich in between 2 strikeouts. They get a pinch runner for Martinez.
It's like Dirk's pinch running. With Avila up there, Charlie Furbush. He had a lot of success throwing his slider to him. I wonder if Lachlan Boyce will do the same thing.
Yeah, he had that nice slider down the way and ran a couple fastballs in. Then went back to that slider to punch him out.
Andy Dirks pinch running. Swing and foul by Avila. And that's Medina warming up. Ravis Medina. Andy Dirks at third, Johnny Peralta at second. At the end of the bat, look out. Ricocheted right up to a guy with a glove. 0-2 to Alex. And he could not check his swing. Bill gone his third time striking out tonight. Bobby Laframboise's second strikeout this evening.
It's just what we expected for Laframboise to go to the slider. He has a good one. Kelly Shopik, the veteran, he remembers a sequence of pitches when Charlie Furbush was out there, and he went right back to it. And he was not able to lay off of that slider.
Intentional pass coming to Infante. Second pitch to Don Kelly.
He did a nice job with that slider, Mike. That first one on the plate, and then he kind of continued to move off the plate away, and that last one down and away from him, had no chance, but kind of climbed the ladder outside the zone with that. Big punch out.
Put Infante on and get a double play out of this and get off the field after giving up a couple of hits right away. So we're going to get a pinch hitter for Kelly.
Tui, I believe
looks like it.
It is Tui. Matt Tuiasosopo. Matt Tuiasosopo is going to get a chance to swing the bat with the bases loaded. He'll move into left field. Tui pinch hitting here in the 8th. Bases loaded. Tuiasosopo, 8 games thus far, 10 at bats, 4 for 10, 2 runs scored. He's got a double and an RBI. For the former Mariner, Brad Woodinville. First pitch. Right after.
And a good fastball at the top of the zone, and Tui looked like he tried to pick them all up in one swing. And he was able to throw that fastball by him. He's late.
Ran straight away and deep. 1 out, bases loaded. That is a foul ball, 0-2 to Matt Tuiasosopo. Detroit's banged out 12 hits, 4 runs, 12 hits. The Mariners 2 runs on 4 hits. You got Dirks at third, Brault at second, and Omar Infante at first.
Good slider there by Laframboise. Got in deep, broke the bat of Tuiasosopo.
So we now making his home in Dahlonega, Georgia. Up and down multiple times with the Mariners, 08, 9, and 10. Got an 0-2 count. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Bobby Laframboise, 2 outs. Bobby's 3rd K since entering the game.
Again, another good fastball at the top of the zone. And it looked like Matt was late on that one also. 91 miles an hour and threw it by him.
Top of the order, and Austin Jackson.
Pretty good sequence right there, Mike. Fastballs up at the top of the zone and that slider inside.
Right one. Couple of hits tonight for Jackson. A triple in the first, single to left in the 7th, and a stolen bases, 2 for 4. With the second coming of Mike Cameron, he hears it every time he comes here to Seattle. Shot foul.
First 2 pitches down in the zone. Laframboise again gives up a base hit and then a double in a 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Now he has a real good chance to try to work his way out of this inning. Pretty good pitching if he's able to do it.
On look by Bobby. He's set. He's got an 0-2 to Jackson. 2 outs, bases loaded. Breaking ball hit foul. On play.
Got away with a slider there, Mike, in the middle of the plate. Jackson pulled off a little bit, so he's fouled it off, but Laframboise caught a break right there.
You think he wanted to bury that pitch?
I think so.
Here we go. We'll do it again at 0-2. Time called. Will Shopper called time. Comes the 0-2 from Bobby Laframboise to Austin Jackson. Out back. He's staying in that same area.
He certainly isn't wasting any pitches. He's going right after him. Let's pitch another good fastball. His best fastball so far, 92 miles an hour.
Oh, 2. Breaking ball down the line, hooking foul.
That's that good slider there, back foot. Doesn't quite get it in the dirt, but it's down enough and inside enough where all Jackson can do is foul it off. Jackson hanging tough, but LaFront boys making some pretty good pitches.
Jimmy Leland. 2-1, a tightrope here. Pitch down low, 1-2.
Good job by Shopping to keep that in front.
For a couple of sliders, maybe a fastball in on his hands.
Yeah, I think it was a good pitch to Tuiasa Soper. He's able to run that fastball to the top of the zone. I think Jackson's seen a lot of pitches down in the zone where he raises eye level with that fastball. He might swing through it.
1-2 pitch.
Well, he tried. The top of the strike zone, it was right on the inside corner. Didn't get the call. So I thought it was a really good pitch, though.
Great pitch, and Jackson did lay off. I can't believe it. It was a well-located fastball up there, and didn't get the call or the swing.
And it counts at 2-2. Dirks, Peralta, and Infante on the base paths. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Full count. Something's got to give. On deck, Torrey Hunter. Followed by that man, Miguel Cabrera. So this is a huge out. Aaron Harang went 5 in his Mariner debut. 3 runs on 7 hits. Charlie Furbush an inning and a third, 1 hit. Devin a third of an inning, 2 hits and 1 run. Now Bobby LaFront boys 3-2 here to Austin Jackson. Payoff pitch. Losting with a walk. 5-2. Detroit RBI for Jackson. His 6th. Scoring on the play. Dirks. Everybody else moves up.
And that will do it for him. Go up to the bullpen, make a change.
Pitching change, another one. Mariners bring in their 5th pitcher. That big pitch where LaFront boys didn't get a strike, that was a tough go. And Medina's going to make his big league debut.
Roll 5-2. Hey, be here this Sunday for an exciting MLS matchup. We watch the Portland Timbers kick off against the San Jose Earthquakes at 8 p.m. Catch all the action only on Root Sports. The Mariners with a very nice tribute to the folks in Boston, everything that they've been dealing with the last day or so. A playing of Sweet Caroline here at Safeco Field. We'll bring that to you in the bottom of the 8th. Right now, let's send it back to the guys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Tom. Tight situation for Urias. Medina making his big league debut. The bases loaded, and his first hitter is going to be Torrey Hunter.
You'd like to give him a soft landing, but that will not be the case tonight, Dan. He's going to have to come in and throw strikes right away, and I'm sure a little bit nervous, probably really excited. Hard throwing right-hander, see if he can find the strike zone, because Hunter, I'm sure, is going to be having him zoned up right in the middle of the plate to make him pitch a little bit.
Yeah, Hunter with a couple of hits already tonight, and a big opportunity here to put his team kind of out of reach. And you're right, he's a veteran hitter. He's looking for that ball in the middle of the plate.
Medina joins Maurer and Laframboise, making their big league debuts this month. Medina going against all-star Torrey Hunter. 2 for 4, couple of strikeouts. Medina, 24 years old, 6'3", 245, out of Puerto Cabello in Venezuela.
He has a good arm. He'll rush it up there in the mid-90s, but again, he'll have to find the strike zone.
He went 5-5 at Jackson in 46 games last year, a 3.25 ERA, 77 Ks, 35 walks. It's behind 2-0. Bases loaded, filled with Tigers. Peralta at third, Infante at second, and Jackson at first. Seventh hitter to the plate here in the 8th inning. And 3-0. Cabrera's done plenty of damage. He's got 4 RBIs tonight. Single in the first, 2-run homer in the 5th, single in the 7th, 3-0 to Hunter. And he walks, picks up an RBI. That'll be his 9th. Scoring on the play is Peralta. Down the 3rd is Infante. Jackson the 2nd.
The young man's situation just got worse.
Significant. Third.
Cabrera 3 for 4 with a home run. He's driven in 4 runs today.
Welcome to the big leagues. Breaking ball had Cabrera flinching. Off the plate for ball 1. Beneficiary, that man right there, Doug Fester. 6-2 lead. He's given up 2 runs on 4 hits. And a run of 10 consecutive retired and 8 consecutive hitters retired. 1-0 to Cabrera. Shot to going out. Speak to the young man. Not throwing a strike yet.
We've seen the velocity in the mid-90s, Mike, but everything is up, and that's an indication he's overthrowing it. He's in this debut situation, and against this lineup, I think he's trying to reach back for something a little extra and just leaving him up at the top of the zone.
Which is really typical of the young player making his first appearance in the big leagues. He's certainly going to do that. He has a good arm, as you mentioned. And somehow, some way, and I don't know what Kelly just told him, but he's going to have to find a way to maybe just ease up a little bit and find the strike zone.
2-0 count to Cabrera. There's a strike. His first in the big leagues.
Strike on that one at the top of the zone. Kelly Shopik, you saw the second pitch of this at bat, try to get him with a little breaking ball to get that feel back, but he missed with the breaking ball as well. But that fastball in there for strike 1, so see if that gets the confidence rolling.
2-1 to Cabrera, bases loaded, 2 outs. Eighth inning action. Couple runs walked in here by the Mariner bullpen. Lead now 6-2 for Detroit. Two and two, 2 outs, bases loaded. Full count. Prince Fielder's on deck. He struck out 3 times and flied to center. He's got to throw a strike. This is loaded. Runners move. Pitch. Strike 3 call. Nice job by Medina to bounce back. Walks in a run, but he does end it right there. Limits the damage to 2 runs. Big hill to climb for the Mariners, down 6-2. Pay tribute to Boston Red Sox fans with Sweet Caroline tonight.
Reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, the times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never was.
Sweet Caroline, they make it into a call and response song in Boston, part of their 7th inning tradition. And the great Neil Diamond himself tweeted out a thank you to the Yankees for playing it in tribute to the folks in Boston for the Yankees for playing it at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx earlier this evening. Matt Tuiasosopo takes over in left field for Don Kelly. Work to do for the Mariners in the 8th. Al Albuquerque is the new pitcher for Detroit.
7th appearance for Albuquerque. 4.5 ERA for him. 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponent's average high at .313.
Night for Ryan. Breaking ball in there. Albuquerque. Last year in 8 games. 0.68 ERA. 18 strikeouts. 8 walks. 13 in the 3rd innings. Ryan 1-2.
Sharp slider there in the dirt below. Looks like he's got a good hard breaking slider there.
He's a live arm. We saw him quite a bit last year.
Break 3 called on that 2-2 pitch. Detroit hitters are struck out 14 times. Mariners are struck out 6 now. Top of the order, and Franklin Gutierrez, who is over 3. Albuquerque in 2011, 41 games, a 1.87 ERA, 6-1 record, 67 Ks, 29 walks.
Guys over in the dugout should be paying attention. He's thrown 6 pitches, 5 of them have been that slider, Dan.
He likes that slider.
Yeah.
Another one.
Bill Koch, the left-hander, getting loose in the pen again. It's like Porcello. Yeah, the right-hander, Rick Porcello.
One to Goody here in the 8th with 1 out. With 2 strikes. More games with the Tigers, and then the Mariners hit the road. Second time this season. 3 in Texas, 3 in Houston. Short road trip, and then come home for 7 games before we get into the month of May. Ground ball down to third to Cabrera. On throw, 2 outs. Kyle Seeger, ground out to second. Double in the 4th is scored, and another ground out in the second. Mariners saw Doug Fister retire the first 10 men that he faced. Then he gives up a double, an RBI double to Morales, and an RBI single to Morris. Mariners don't get another hit until a 1-out single in the 7th from Smoke. Nothing since then. That's his pitch.
A lot of break to it, Dan. It's just it's late and fairly hard at 86, 87 miles an hour.
Yeah, when you're a reliever, short reliever like this, he's got the luxury of just being able to throw it pitch after pitch, and he's thrown it a lot here tonight.
Oh, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Stairs, 2-2. 2 outs. Kendrys Morales is on deck for the Mariners. He did go. Seager, highly frustrated. 2 strikeouts for Albuquerque. A 1-2-3/8 to the 9th we go. 6-2 Detroit. Safeco Field. Let's take a look at our money tree in time playing. Doug Fister. Dan Wilson, he had a great ball game.
Yeah, you see there the 7 innings. Just gave up the 4 hits, 3 of which came in the 4th inning, bunched in together. And I'll tell you what, Doug Fister did a really nice job of commanding the lower part of the strike zone. Good movement on his fastball down in the zone. Then he mixed in his curveball and his changeup at times. And see that movement coming back onto the plate. He just had everything going tonight, Dave, and really never gave, outside of the 4th inning, the Mariner hitters a chance to do anything.
Really fine performance by the ex-Mariner.
5 strikeouts, 11 ground ball outs for him tonight.
Medina continues here in the 9th on strike 1 for Prince Fielder. Fielder, Dirks, and Peralta here in the 9th. Missed the Prince.
Like a changeup, didn't it?
Yeah, the 88 miles an hour, his fastball up around 95, 96. So
good movement on it.
Good run to that changeup.
1-2 strikes. Medina came in. 2 outs, bases loaded. 8th inning. Walked in a run and then struck out Cabrera. Look. 2 runs in the 8th by Detroit. Medina taking the place from the roster of Stephen Pryor's got a torn lat muscle. He went on 15-day DL last night. That is a good fastball at 96. Golden sombrero for Prince Fielder. King for the 4th time. 0 for 5 night.
Good pitches to him. Started him off with a fastball for a strike, threw him a number of changeups, and then comes back with a good fastball at 96 miles an hour. You look at our McDonald's Supermo in the swing of Prince Fielder. He just reached back for a little extra there, Dan, threw it by him.
Yeah, you see some pretty good movement too, running away from Fielder on that pitch, and I like this kid's fastball.
After 4-pitch walk to Hunter, he's now struck out Cabrera and Fielder. There's Andy Dirks for the first time. He entered the game as a pinch runner in the 8th. Took the place of DH Victor Martinez. Oh, on. Aaron Herring started for the Mariners. 5 innings of 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, no walks and 6 strikeouts, 95 pitches, 68 for strikes, gave up a home run. Pretty solid performance.
I thought he looked good tonight. Encouraged by the outing that he had, especially when you consider, Dan, that he hasn't pitched competitively for almost 3 weeks. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
It was good.
yeah. Outside of Cabrera, I think he really controlled that lineup. Used his fastball really well. He stayed true to his 65% fastball, located it pretty well. Got a few pitches up early in the ballgame, but that's, like you're saying, you can attribute that to the fact that he hasn't pitched in a competitive ballgame in a while.
2 outside. 300th career game for Aaron Herring. But too much of this guy. Miguel Cabrera has driven in 4 of the 6 Detroit runs. Reigning American League MVP, a Triple Crown winner. Mariners 5-1 against Detroit last year. 2-1 here, 3-0 in Detroit. Last 3 years, 16-8 against the Tigers. 7-4 at Safeco Field. The 2 pitch. Do it again, 2-2 with Dirks. Medina is the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Mariners. Trying to get a second out here in the 9th inning. So with the breaking ball, count runs full. On deck hitter is Johnny Peralta, double back in the 8th. Tigers in the 8th sent 8 men to the plate, scored twice on 2 hits, left the bases loaded. 3-2 pitch. Way upstairs. Second walk issued by Medina. 1 out base runner. Don't forget Kings Court will be in session tomorrow night. Good pitching matchup. Max Scherzer and Felix Hernandez. Get your tickets. CenturyLink to What's Next. Out coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Johnny Peralta, 2 for 4.
Continuing to show a pretty good fastball. Mike still up in the zone a little bit. He threw a couple of pitches down in the zone to Dirks, and they really exploded. I think they got a little bit extra when it's down low, but the ball's continuing to stay up in the zone a little bit for him.
It's a little bit surprising. I mean, he gets good run on it, and when he gets it down just a little bit from where he's at, you can see that movement downward and off the plate. It just looks like what you were saying last inning when he first came in, maybe overthrowing a little bit. If he just, would get down in the zone and get that good movement.
Yep.
1-1. Late swing.
Like that.
Good pitch down there, 94 miles an hour. But down, you see even Kelly Shopik had a little trouble handling that ball. You're right, that movement is just so different when it's down in the zone like that.
One and two.
A really good play by Kelly Shopik. It's about as hard a slider as you're going to get that far off the plate. To get your body over there, Danny, and move quickly like that, especially off of a pitcher that you really don't know.
Yeah, and it really has a lot to do with your anticipation as a catcher when you call that breaking ball, Mike. You've got to anticipate that ball is going to be in the dirt. You start your movement. And like you said, that one's so far outside, he had to get out there to get it.
Medina's got a 2-2 breaking ball. That misses. Full count. QC Tracer and at the top of the zone. One out runner at first. It's Andy Dirks. He runs, pitch. Swung on a foul ball.
Pitches for Medina, 14 strikes. Again, a lot of the pitches up. He looks like he has a pretty good breaking ball too, but he's left a lot of those up out of the zone. I think he's fooled the hitters on him, but you can buckle him, and if you don't get it in the strike zone, it's going to be difficult for him, and that's why he finds himself in the 3-2 count.
3-2, throw down, what do we got? John Hirschbeck. Here comes Eric.
They say that I think on the double pump, he hit him on purpose on the second one to try to get interference called.
The hitter comes across home plate. It is interference on the hitter. But you'll see Kelly Shopik, I think, double clutched. Couldn't get the ball out of his glove and then kind of threw a shoulder into the hitter. And John Hirschbeck really called it almost immediately that was the case.
And I'm not sure that Peralta came across the plate at all.
I don't think he did.
We'll take another look at it. Keep an eye on Peralta. Swings at this pitch. He tries to hold his ground, and then Kelly hits him with his elbow. That's close. That's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, Dan.
Yeah, it looked like he did take a little bit of a stutter step there with his right foot. Shopik looks like he stops his strike because he's going to hit him in the foot. That's pretty close.
It looked like he didn't get the handle on the ball right away, and that's what the extra step was for.
Yep.
But it'll be a stolen base for Dirks, and you're right. First bet was on it right away.
Yeah. He made it an immediate call. You could see he couldn't get that grip, and that makes it tough. Here's Avila. Runner at second, 2 outs. Ground ball to Ackley. Then he'll throw out Avila. Then he'll do it for the Tigers in the ninth. Coming up for the Mariners in the bottom of the ninth, trailing 6-2. You've got Morales, Morrison, Ibanez against Joaquin Benoit.
Command leading the Mariners 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Tom Glasgow with you from the Ford Sports Desk. Stick around. Coming up on Mariners postgame, we'll hear from the skipper Eric Wedge. Also tracked down Aaron Harang, get his thoughts on his Mariners debut, and we'll check in with the Red Sox, Yankees, and Rangers. All that and more on Mariners postgame. Right now, let's send it back to Dave, Mike, and Dan.
All right, Tab, thank you so much. Joaquin Benoit takes over for the ninth inning for the Detroit Tigers.
Hard fastball slider split. Been around for a long time. 6th appearance of the year for him. ERA right at 3.
Anderson Morales going to lead it off for the Mariners. Benoit, 35 years old, pitching to Morales, who got an RBI double back in the 4th. There's a strike to Morales, count at 1-1. Benoit started in the big leagues back in 01, came up through the Texas system. And down with Texas through 08, then Tampa Bay in 2010. This is his 3rd year with Detroit. High fly ball center field, backing up Jackson. He'll be short of the track, makes the catch, 1 down. Benoit picked up 2 saves in each of the last 2 years, a 3.68 ERA last year with a 5.3 record. 4-3 record, hitting 11 with a 2.95 as Michael Morse steps to the plate. Get an RBI single back in the fourth. He's 1 for 3. Mariners did all their work offensively in that fourth inning. Pfister rolling. Retired the first 10 men that he faced. The 3 consecutive hits produced a couple of runs from him. Next hit after that didn't come until 1 out in the 7th. Smoke with a base hit. The Mariners have been held hitless since that time. Two to Morse.
First slider we've seen from Benoit. It's a good one. 84 miles an hour right on the outside corner.
Piece of it held on by Avila. Morse is gone. 2 outs. So the teams that did not play yesterday, paying tribute to Jackie Robinson here tonight. Well deserved for his contributions to American life, and certainly for desegregation in Major League Baseball, which led to Miss Rosa Parks, which led to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Raul tonight 0 for 3. Championship Series the last 2 years. Cabrera got it done tonight with 4 runs batted in. And then there were 2 runs walked in the 8th inning by the Mariners. 6-2 Detroit lead. 2 outs here in the 9th. 1-1 to Raul. 1-2.
Strikes from Benoit tonight, Mike. Just pounding that strike zone with the sliders and his fastball.
He's throwing strikes. 9 pitches, 7 of them for strikes. When you have 4-run lead, then you just go right at people. Benoit, a guy's a veteran, guy's been around. He's not going to get too cute out there.
Got Raul 1-2, 2 outs, nobody on. Pitch from Benoit. High, 2-2. Verlander, Justin Verlander, the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the American League. He goes Thursday afternoon. 2-2 to Raul. Struck him out. That's your ball game. No doubt about this one. Detroit, too much firepower. The #1 hitting team in Major League Baseball showed it tonight. Miguel Cabrera, the reigning MVP and Triple Crown winner. He was just way too much for the Mariners.
Yeah, I would agree. And so tomorrow the guys offensively are going to have to get things figured out. Just 4 hits in this one. They were fortunate to bunch 3 of them together, Danny. And when you lose a game like this, and as you know, it's going to be a tough pitching matchups throughout, and you have your ace going tomorrow, they need a big-time performance by Felix in the one tomorrow night.
Absolutely. I think he's up for the task. But you're right. I thought Aaron Harang threw the ball very well tonight for the Mariners. Didn't come up with the W, but gave him a chance to stay in this ball game. And for his first time out after not being in the game for a little bit here, it's a pretty good sign, I think, for the Mariners.
Cabrera and Doug Pfister way too much. Jimmy Leland's club comes in and takes the first of 3 against the Mariners. Mariner postgame starts right now with Angie and Bill.